Welcome to the Exploring Neurodiversity podcast for adults who support neurodivergent children. I'm Adina from Play, Learn, Chat. I'm an autistic ADHD speech therapist, professional educator, speaker. This podcast is recorded on the Aboriginal lands of the Gadigal and Bidjigal people. Hi folks! I have a very special, impactful episode to share with you today. This morning I had the absolute joy of having a Zoom chat with Kaishawna Fleming, an African-American, Black, DeafBlind Autistic disability rights advocate, clarinettist, composer, and just so many other things. And they are also a big gamer and social media content creator, YouTuber. They're studying to become a teacher and help disabled and non-disabled people alike to understand the cultural nuances of disability. You're going to hear Kaishawna share using AAC, using voice. We signed a little bit. In their everyday communication, they use a mix of different modes of communication. Kaishawna is one of the speakers at the Neurodiversity Affirming Unconference that I'm hosting in August. So actually 4 weeks from today is when we kick off, which is absolutely so exciting. I'll be honest, I haven't popped up on the podcast as much as I'd hoped recently because, well, I have been so deep in preparing for the Unconference. It is 2 days of an incredible mix of lived experience, diverse neurodivergent speakers from around the world who are sharing on all kinds of incredible topics around supporting neurodivergent kids in neurodiversity affirming ways. After you hear from Kaishawna, I'm going to share a little bit about what the heck an Unconference actually is all about. Now, most of the presentations are live. There are a few pre-recorded sessions going to be happening. And that is part of providing an accessible experience that I'm aiming to provide for all the speakers and attendees as much as possible. So I'm going to share a little snippet, a bit of a teaser from my chat with Kaishawna today, but you're going to, I think, get so much out of it. And you'll be able to hear the rest of our incredible conversation that has just left me a mix of inspired and feeling like, oh my goodness, I have so much work to do on myself, on the supports that I bring to folks, on the conversations I bring to folks. I feel very excited and grateful for the opportunity to do this kind of connecting and deep thinking and rethinking of all the layers of privilege, of all the bias, assumptions, inequalities that are part of our human experience, but don't necessarily have to be. I am doing a ton of learning and undoing and rethinking, and I hope that you will join me for the journey as well. And yeah, just a really big thank you to Kaishawna for being so open and sharing today. And we had such a great chat. In the show notes, you're going to find some links to go and connect with Kaishawna. And also, please do go and support their work. If you have benefited from the insights, from the connection, from the understanding that Kaishawna has brought to you, please go and support them. They have PayPal, Venmo. I'll pop it all in the show notes. And Kaishawna at the moment is saving up for something incredibly important for them. I think it's their first big solo trip, first time on a plane to go to something that is a real big special interest for them, a gaming convention. So I really hope you'll consider supporting them. And I will also say one of my big principles for the Neurodiversity Affirming Unconference is that people get compensated for their time. I am not about free labor here. I'm all about genuinely supporting the diverse neurodivergent folks, and especially marginalized and multiply marginalized folks who I'm bringing to your ears and eyes. So yeah, everybody is getting paid for their time, their labor, their efforts. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful. So let's go and listen to Kaishawna, and I'll share a bit more about the Unconference at the end. Hi, Kaishawna.
Hello.
We are recording. This is actually the first recording I'm doing for the Neurodiversity Affirming Unconference, and I'm so glad that you're joining us. Thank you. To start us off, tell us about yourself in your words. I've got your official bio, but who are you? What makes you feel happy? What do you want us to know about you?
Hello there. My name is Kaishawna and I'm a Black DeafBlind Autistic woman who is 24, uses AAC and sign language to communicate, strongly advocates for disability rights and attends college to study to become a community advocate for disabled students and also teach non-disabled individuals about disability. I'm also a clarinet player, composer, music theorist and transcriber of classical music. I am an advocate for both autistic persons and their families, especially in the education world. I am hoping my advocacy can help many. I am also trying to raise funding for some college costs and personal care supports.
You communicate through a mix, multimodal communication through AAC, sign language, speech, and I'm going to say you also communicate through your beautiful like color t-shirt. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And many
Thank
ways. Can you share a bit more about how you communicate in different ways at different times or in different situations?
I communicate via speaking unreliably, mostly with sign language being part of it. Different times vary by my mood, energy levels, cognitive load, and more. When things are overwhelming, I can't focus and words, types or spoken, become challenging to put forth. This can alter my main message, leaving the message distorted in a way even with familiar wording. While my main communication is basic unreliable speech, I still value it as it can prevent meltdowns and shutdowns from occurring daily.
Thank you for sharing that. Can I ask what AAC app you use? Or do you use a few?
So I would say, I think it's called Speech Assistant.
Mm.
It's kind of like the iOS app, but for Android. So it has like different voices and stuff. But I have used it in college classes before. Like how I'm speaking is how I pretty much talk every day. But like this is the way I'm talking is how I just, like basic, not like basic as in I need, kind of, but like for more like academic, analytical thinking, I would use the AAC.
Yeah. Thank you. What do you want parents, families, and educators to understand about how autism can present differently depending on a person's cultural or family backgrounds?
One thing to understand about cultural significance and background with autism is that Black, Indigenous, and Brown learners present their traits differently, and those differences are often criminalized by this systemic racist and ableist society we inhabit. Far too many Black and Brown autistics have been harmed, some fatally, for simply existing as they are. Listen to caregivers and families when they say that they cannot access certain services and such due to higher quality services being outside their means and social economic status. Listening and active engagement serves to help and improve the understanding of cultural significance when it comes to autism. When we actively listen, we allow their lived experiences to guide us through their journey.
Thank you. I feel like this is the beginning of that conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
All I do is remind folks to keep listening and learning from marginalized, diverse folks. Like, please don't just keep listening to little white me, please. I'm one autistic person with my own experiences, and thank you. I just want to make sure everybody is aware of the weight of what you just shared, and keep learning and listening. Thank you very much. What's one or two things that you really want professionals to start doing differently for the neurodivergent children that they support, especially the Black and Brown neurodivergent kids?
One thing to understand about cultural significance and background with autism is unlearn racist rhetoric and beliefs, even if unintentional. White people carry white privilege and fragility whether they wish to believe in it or not. To stop claiming the language that has been referred to as slang when it comes from a sacred understanding of Black and Brown cultural significance and background. Misusing and abusing such language allows it to be further distorted from its original meaning. Such as the term woke. That word has lost its original meaning given that white people have taken this word and misused it for personal grievances. That word originally means to pay attention to your surroundings and who you are afflicted with. It specifically is for Black people to call attention to the harms that white people have and continue to cause daily. I am not here to lecture, yet I am here to educate on topics for which are not often heard or seen. My ability to educate on topics not spoken about is so that people can better understand the world for which they inhabit.
Thank you. That's so important, and not a word I had thought about. The concept, yes, of appropriating language, but wow, thank you. I know so many people watching are going to be very curious how they can learn more about your work, your thoughts, what you share, what you're building, what you're playing. How can people connect with you, learn more about you, and also your novel that you've been working on, Life's Moments?
Oh, I want to talk about that one. So before I select my pre-typed answer, I'm working on a novel called Life's Moments. There's two parts to it. So there's the first part, which is life's moments, and then the second part, which is called Life's Moments, Second Chances. So it's after the events of life's moments. And I'm kind of sort of simultaneously working on both, but one is shorter than the other. The second half is shorter because it's not as long, it's deep, but it's not as deep as the first one. So the first half focuses on a couple named Arthur Winichowski and Talia Winichowski. So Talia is spelled Thalia, but it's pronounced Talia. So it focuses on their life as an interabled couple or interdisabled couple, whichever phrase it's used to describe a couple who there was one non-disabled person in a relationship. Basically, it follows them as a couple, navigating life, navigating racism, ableism, what have you. And the most important factor is navigating, meeting Arthur's family and stuff and just going through the family's like thoughts about her and Arthur being in a relationship because they're like, oh, you have to take care of her, all the time. And it's like, no, they take care of each other. Yes, he may be the primary breadwinner or whatever. I still don't know the meaning of that term, breadwinner. Are we winning a contest of bread or something? It's weird. I take things literally. So when people say
bread earner?
breadwinner, I'm like, what is this? A competition for winning bread or something?
I never thought about it like that.
I'm kind of hoping that when people read this story, they're not just focused on, oh, Arthur is taking care of his family all the time, yada yada, blah blah blah. And it's like, no, they take care of each other. They have their own wants and needs, but they're still in a relationship together. And I'm looking for beta readers who can like read the story and kind of figure out, what their thoughts are. And I've got a couple of people who really love. They say my writing is very emotive. I want to meet readers in person or online and be like, hey, what did you thought? Like, even if you didn't like it, okay, what's one thing that resonated with you?
That's awesome. Please keep me updated. I mean, I know I'll keep following and watching as you keep working on it. Other people watching, please connect with Kaishawna if you're interested, if you're still looking for beta readers. And so how can people get connected with you? Obviously, I'll be sharing this alongside all your links and everything, but please tell us.
Folks can connect with me via Instagram, Kaishawna_music. I am also on YouTube more often uploading Red Dead Redemption 2 playthroughs and music to take a break from advocacy work. I am needing direct financial support with daily living needs such as transportation costs, some funding to prepare for a gaming convention and to care for personal health. My goal is $200, $800. The links are on my Instagram page. If anyone wishes to contact me, my email is flemingkaishawna@gmail.com.
Thank you. And yes, I'll be sharing all your links. So please, anyone get in touch with Kaishawna. Thank you so much. I hope we can chat again another time.
That would be lovely.
I would love to hear from you. And I know that Kaishawna would as well. Like, what has this brought up for you? Please do share with us. Both of us are on Instagram and you can connect on email and other ways as well. If this leaves you feeling like you want to hear more from Kaishawna and from I think it's 18 other incredible speakers who are joining both the conference and the unconference days. So it's a 2-day event, the Neurodiversity Affirming Unconference. I hope that you're going to go and check it out. The link is in the show notes. You can get all the information and it's going to be so special. I feel absolutely thrilled, like that visceral, internal, bone-thrilled feeling at just how incredible and important this is going to be for shifting the understanding, the deep core beliefs, the connections, the ways that we think about how we genuinely see and understand neurodivergent kids. I can't wait to be challenged by the amazing speakers. I can't wait to be delighted and to just get my brain and body ticking. You might be thinking, what is an unconference? So an unconference is a concept that I have not invented. It's a fabulous concept that does exist in the world. It's just not very common yet. This particular version of the unconference is not a pure, we'll say, traditional unconference. I am balancing a mix of things. I'm balancing, on one hand, the needs of autistic folks to have structure and predictability, where an unconference at its core is all about basically turning up and the attendees setting the agenda of the day right then and there. Now, that is a whole other incredible thing that I'd love to explore in the future, a real deep unconference mode with no structured plan ahead of time. But due to logistics and disability support needs and various other factors, that's not quite where we're going with this. What the unconference is, it's undoing the standard expected version of professional learning, which is sitting and listening to one person or to a few people up there on a podium, speaking from a place of authority. We're not totally flipping that on its head. And I myself do sometimes take that position up on stages or metaphorical stages as well. That is fine and valid, and it has a place in the world. But there is also a place for a kind of learning that is more experiential, more reflective, more participatory, more audience-led, even if not in the full way of setting the agenda on the day, but actually more audience-led in terms of guiding where exactly those conversations need to go. I have a real bug in my bonnet, bee in my bonnet, I forget the phrase. It really bothers me when the world of academia and the knowledge and the thoughts and stories and insights that come out of academia is prized well above the knowing that comes from being a human, living a life, existing in a particular experience and world. There is a place for academia, there is a place for formal research. And also there is a privilege, a massive privilege, and often very ableist, capitalistic, exclusionary set of barriers that mean that formal world of academia is not accessible to many. And having that privilege of being the person being listened to is very much not afforded to many people. So the unconference lineup is a real mix. Everybody is neurodivergent themselves. It's a real mix of people who already are somewhat known, have a platform. Some are researchers, some are professionals, some have many people already listening to them. And I also very much wanted to give space and voice to those people who are not as often or not yet or not ever given that opportunity to speak, share, connect in front of other people. I hope you're going to join. If you are at all curious, the unconference link is in the show notes. Also, go to neurodiversityunconference.com. It's running live on Wednesday the 19th and Thursday the 20th of August. I have made day one available as the recordings only option. So please check it out. And I'll be back in the next week-ish with another episode bringing you some insights into another one of our incredible sessions. I'm going to be having a chat with Stephanie Robertson, who's sharing on autistic joy. So you're going to get a little taste of that next week. If you know any professionals who need this, anyone who supports neurodivergent kids, please send them a link and do everyone a favor, especially the neurodivergent kids of today and tomorrow. Thank you for being open to learning and unlearning and to listening to the perspectives and experiences of neurodivergent folks. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend, share a screenshot on Instagram, pop a 5-star rating and a review in your favorite app, and join me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm at play.learn.chat. Have a beautiful day.